Hello everyone, if this is your first time here, thank you so much, and if you are a regular viewer, then welcome back. I truly appreciate your time and support. Before we can start the video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. Now jump into the topic. Once seen as a peaceful paradise tucked away in the Pacific, New Zealand was the dream destination for those in search of stunning landscapes, safety, and a high quality of life. Known for its friendly people, clean environment, and strong social values, it ranked consistently as one of the best places to live in the world. But fast forward to 2025, and the reality is no longer as idyllic. While it hasn't become unlivable in the literal sense, for many residents and migrants, New Zealand is no longer the accessible, affordable, or sustainable place it once was. The combination of skyrocketing costs, a housing crisis, job shortages, immigration policy changes, and environmental challenges has made life in New Zealand harder than ever before. Let's dive deep into why living in New Zealand is becoming increasingly impossible. Number 1. Housing crisis at its worst. New Zealand is in the middle of one of the worst housing crises in the developed world. House prices in cities like Auckland, Wellington, and Christchurch have soared dramatically, with the average price of a home exceeding NZD 900,000. For first-time buyers, the dream of homeownership is just that, a dream. Even renting has become unaffordable, with rents increasing by over 30% in the last 3 years alone. Many families are forced to live in cars, garages, or overcrowded homes. The government's attempts to curb speculation and foreign ownership have had minimal effect. The demand continues to outpace supply, and construction delays only add fuel to the fire. For the average Kiwi or aspiring migrant, finding a stable and affordable place to live has become nearly impossible. Number 2. Cost of living crisis. New Zealand is now one of the most expensive countries in the world to live in. Grocery prices are shockingly high, with basic essentials like milk, bread, eggs, and vegetables costing 2 to 3 times more than in other countries. Petrol prices have surged above NZD 3 per litre in some areas. Power and utility bills are climbing rapidly, and healthcare expenses are growing despite being publicly funded. Imported goods have become significantly more expensive due to supply chain disruptions, weak currency, and isolation. The average income has not kept up with inflation, leaving many working families in poverty despite full-time employment. This economic squeeze has made daily survival an uphill battle. Number 3. Broken immigration system. For years, New Zealand welcomed skilled migrants to fill labor gaps and support its aging population. But as of 2025, immigration rules have tightened drastically. The post-COVID era ushered in strict border controls, endless visa backlogs, and shifting political narratives around immigration. Many essential workers, including nurses, builders, and IT professionals, now face long waiting periods and uncertain visa pathways. International students are no longer guaranteed post-study work rights, and the path to permanent residency has become complex and restrictive. Thousands of immigrants who once considered New Zealand their second home are now either stuck in limbo or leaving the country altogether. The dream of a fresh start in New Zealand is no longer a reality for many. Number 4. Job market saturation and underemployment. While New Zealand has historically had low unemployment rates, the current job market paints a different picture. The influx of local graduates, returnees, and job seekers has outpaced available positions in several industries. Underemployment is rising, with many professionals working part-time or in low-skilled jobs unrelated to their qualifications. For migrants, the situation is even worse. Many are unable to find work that matches their skills or education level. The once promised opportunities are now replaced with competition, limited openings, and frustration. In rural areas, jobs are disappearing due to automation and the decline of traditional industries like farming and manufacturing. Number 5. Mental health and healthcare struggles. New Zealand is grappling with a severe mental health crisis. Isolation, financial pressure, and housing instability have led to a significant increase in anxiety, depression, and suicide rates, especially among young people. The healthcare system, already stretched thin, is now overwhelmed. Waiting times for mental health support, surgeries, and specialist consultations are longer than ever. Hospitals are understaffed, and many frontline workers are leaving for better opportunities abroad. For residents, getting timely and quality healthcare has become a gamble. For newcomers, navigating the health system can be daunting and discouraging. Number 6. Infrastructure and transportation woes. Despite its developed status, New Zealand's infrastructure is aging and underfunded. Roads are deteriorating, public transportation is unreliable outside of major cities, and internet access is slow in many rural areas. Frequent weather-related disruptions, such as floods and cyclones, damage critical infrastructure, and repairs often take weeks. In cities like Auckland, traffic congestion has become unbearable, and public transport options are limited compared to other developed nations. These challenges make daily life difficult and contribute to the growing frustration among residents. Number 7. Environmental concerns and climate threats. New Zealand, though known for its green image, is not immune to climate change. In fact, it's facing serious environmental challenges that threaten its livability. Rising sea levels are endangering coastal communities, while frequent floods, droughts, and cyclones are affecting agriculture, water quality, and biodiversity. The South Island has seen major glacial retreats, and some regions are facing water shortages despite being known for their lush landscapes. These environmental issues have economic and social impacts, displacing families, disrupting food supply chains, and increasing insurance costs. Climate change is slowly turning paradise into peril. Number 8. Social divide and political unrest. New Zealand is also facing growing social and political polarization. Economic inequality is on the rise, with the wealthiest benefiting from asset inflation while the poorest are left behind. Maori and Pacific communities continue to face systemic disadvantages, and tensions over land rights and treaty obligations are intensifying. Public dissatisfaction with the government's handling of the housing crisis, cost of living, and health sector has led to protests and political instability. While the country is still democratic and relatively safe, the social fabric is showing signs of strain, making daily life more stressful for many. Number 9. Education is losing its edge. New Zealand was once praised for its high-quality, inclusive education system. But now, funding cuts, teacher shortages, and outdated curricula are holding the system back. International student numbers have plummeted, and many local students face overcrowded classrooms and inconsistent teaching standards. Tertiary education is becoming unaffordable, and student loan debts are climbing rapidly. The education sector, once a major attraction for migrants, is struggling to maintain its global reputation. Number 10. Economic instability. Perhaps the most alarming development in 2025 is New Zealand's economic fragility. National debt has reached record highs, now exceeding NZD 180 billion. The government is forced to borrow heavily just to sustain basic services. Small businesses are closing under inflation pressure and limited tourism recovery. Exports like dairy and timber face stiff global competition, while domestic industries struggle with labor shortages. The GDP growth rate has slowed to under 1.2%, and inflation remains sticky. Everyday consumers are burdened with rising interest rates, credit card debt, and mortgage stress. It's becoming clear that New Zealand's economy is under serious pressure, and it's ordinary people who are feeling the consequences most painfully. New Zealand remains a beautiful country with a rich culture and resilient people. But in 2025, the reality on the ground is that it is becoming harder and harder to live in. For both locals and migrants, the rising costs, broken systems, and environmental threats are making life increasingly unsustainable. The dream of a peaceful life in Aotearoa is fading, not because of a single issue, but due to a cascade of interconnected problems that no longer make living there practical for many. Unless major reforms are implemented soon, New Zealand may continue to be a dream from afar, but a nightmare for those trying to live it up close.